last business, packaging. Brand packaging now, ensuring that the messaging and the other brand elements that are created come together to communicate the intended message to provoke action. Let's say that again. Ensuring that the messaging, right? And let me break right here. So messaging refers to the intended thing that you want to communicate in relation to a product, like a singular product or a singular service, or an offer or bundle. You get what I'm saying? So what is that message or what is that thing that you want to communicate regarding that thing, right? So normally we refer to this as the brand promise, and everything else that you say after the brand promise is supposed to flow from the brand promise. So for instance, and I always use this example, right? With Digicel, your credit lasts longer. Digicel is a telecommunications entity here in Jamaica, right? And so their brand promise some years ago was, with Digicel, your credit lasts longer, right? So with that now, a lot of different pieces of messaging flowed from that, you know, top up today and let your credit last longer. Top up with da 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 and your credit lasts longer. Get the amazing bundle and your credit will last longer. You get what I'm saying? So everything that they shared flowed from that, right? Because their brand had this distinct promise that with them, your credit lasts longer, right? And so now, if we're moving into a specific campaign now, because they do have various campaigns and they do have various phones that come on board and stuff like that, then they make sure that their messaging surrounding that phone or their messaging surrounding that campaign still maps back to the overall brand promise, right? But at the end of the day, it's promising and sticking to the transformation that they will always stick to. Now, granted, you can have sub transformations, you can have other miniature transformations, like, all right, cool, maybe longer lasting battery life, or you know, things like that, you know. But at the end of the day, it still maps back to an overall benefit of you benefiting overall, right? And so with that said, so ensuring that the messaging and other brand elements that are created come together to communicate the intended message to provoke action. So now we spoke about messaging and you know, the brand promise especially, right? And so with that said, now the different elements that I'm speaking to are the different items that come through, like your brand identity, for instance, or your brand journey, for instance, or your brand core. No, that's how I actually teach brand development, you know, just separating them in 3 separate categories. So let me give you a quick rundown. So your brand core has to do with your brand promise, your brand story, you know, just how did you get where you are right now? Like, what prompted you to do this and to become a brand overall? You know, what is it that caused you to step into doing this, right? Get comfortable with sharing that story, right? And so from that story now, your brand promise tends to flow from that. So for instance, if you had a journey where not many people were available to help you with building your business, but then the business that you developed is one that helps other people to build businesses, then it means that, hey, that's your story. And then perhaps your brand promise is helping you to decide or helping you to build a profitable business moving forward. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's that's a thing, you know. And so a reality is that so from your brand core, you know, you're laying the foundations, you're helping persons to understand the values or what you stand for as a brand, you know, helping persons to understand your vibe and your language, and you know, basically how they will be interacting with you. Think of it like a personality. You're figuring that out. And again, I mean, you should have learned all of this, of course, from the pre-work and thing, but I'm going through it again to make sure that I'm solidifying this in your mind, right? Because we need to make sure that we understand the brand's correlation to packaging, right? Or how to package your brand, you know, as we move forward, right? So with that said, no. So, and then of course, no, the brand identity is the pretty stuff, as I always say. And the brand journey is literally your brand in action. Like, how will your brand move forward after you've laid the foundation and spent the time putting all these together to communicate the intended message to then provoke action? And of course, action can literally look a lot of different ways. And some of the main actions that we go for are, you know, like community building activities. So I'm asking people to follow you, or just that idea of building loyalty around your brand, right? And also, so even moving into purchasing from you. I mean, of course, that's more directly linked to a marketing campaign, but of course, your marketing is linked to your brand. So it still provokes action from this brand stage anyway, or you can start thinking about it rather. You get me? So think about that, right? So again, that's how packaging really works in relation to your brand.